Now, if you've called 211 for help during the pandemic, you know it can be very difficult getting answers that you need. Many callers cannot get a hold of anyone on the state information line, and people are getting pretty frustrated at times. Chief Capitol reporter Susan Raff is live right now in our podcast center with more details on what's happening this afternoon. Susan?
Mark, it's really the governor's office that seems to be having the most trouble. They are getting a lot of calls, as you would imagine, and we are told hundreds in just an hour. That was at the peak of COVID. Most of the calls are related to the pandemic and can be answered by 211, but still, people want to be able to speak to someone.
Thank you for calling the office of Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont.
If you call Governor Lamont's office these days, you'll get a recording. As you can imagine, during a pandemic, a lot of people are calling the governor's office, but you can't talk to anyone. Gannon Long has tried.
It's just been difficult to get through.
Right.
So I called once during COVID, and they said they had no system to accept it.
Gannon is a Hartford activist and has run for political office. She feels the governor's staff needs to be more accessible. We are told 5 people work in the governor's office and that they have been working from home during the pandemic because the Capitol is closed. The governor's senior staff says these days most calls are about COVID, and callers are directed to call 211, the state's information hotline. Max Reese, the governor's communications director, says to say we haven't been responsive is inaccurate. The answers have come from different places because those places would have better answers. The governor's staff has been responsive to problems with some unemployment claims. His office has reached out to a few people we have done stories with, people who were having trouble getting benefits. But when it comes to someone answering the phones in his office, the governor says it could be better.
You're supposed to be there answering calls. That's really important to me. That's called respecting the taxpayer.
Technology may be a solution.
There could be an answering machine that you call into. That's what a lot of legislators do, and you can just pick up the messages. You can develop a Google Voice phone number. It's free.
Hiring additional people in the governor's office is not an option. The governor's staff says it is not in the budget, but they tell us they are working on ways to improve the system. Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.